Hello everyone, happy Thursday. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. We finally got some rain and I am so glad about that. It was looking pretty crisp out there. I wanted to do a video about really recognizing that Satan attacks sometimes at our best times and how to look for it and how to avoid it. And I think this is a good story in Genesis chapter 39, a section about Joseph. And so I'm going to start in verse 2. It says, "The Lord was with Joseph, so he succeeded in everything he did as he served in the home of his Egyptian master." And so basically the Lord was with him. He's on the mountaintop of everything going well. He had had a bunch of problems prior to that, and he will continue to have problems. But the Lord was working everything out for a huger purpose, which, of course, you can find out further in Genesis. But this specific story, the Lord was with Joseph, and he was exceeding in everything. Potiphar noticed this and realized that the Lord was with Joseph, giving him success in everything he did. This pleased Potiphar, so he soon made Joseph his personal attendant. He put him in charge of his entire household and everything he owned. And from the day that Joseph was put in charge of his master's household and property, the Lord began to bless Potiphar's household for Joseph's sake. So here Potiphar is recognizing that the Lord's hand is upon Joseph. So he wants some of that. And so he makes him in charge of everything. And for Joseph's sake, he also blessed Potiphar, okay? And then it says, all of his household affairs ran smoothly and his crops and livestock flourished. So Potiphar gave Joseph complete administrative responsibility over everything that he owned. With Joseph there, he didn't worry about a thing except what kind of food to eat. So Joseph was exemplary in his work ethic. Everything ran smoothly. The Lord's hand was upon him. And so Potiphar could relax because he had a very able person in charge. Joseph was a very handsome and well-built young man. So he's got the looks and the body to go with it. And Potiphar's wife soon began to look at him lustfully. "Come and sleep with me," she demanded. But Joseph refused. "Look," he told her, "my master," which is Potiphar, "trusts me with everything in his entire household. No one here has more authority than I do. He has held back nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How could I do such a wicked thing? It would be a great sin against God." She kept putting pressure on Joseph day after day, but he refused to sleep with her, and he kept her out of the way as much as possible. So she's putting the pressure on him. He's trying to avoid this temptation by putting her out of the way as much as possible, keeping a distance from her, okay? One day, however, no one else was around, and when he went in to do his work, she came and grabbed him by the cloak, demanding, "Come on, sleep with me." Joseph tore himself away, but he left his cloak in her hand as he ran from the house. When she saw that she was holding his cloak and he had fled, she called out to her servants, and soon all the men came running. "Look," she said, "my husband has brought this Hebrew slave here to make fools of us. He came into my room and he tried to rape me, but I screamed. When he heard me scream, he ran outside and got away, but he left his cloak behind with me." She kept the cloak with her until her husband came home, and then she told him the story. "The Hebrew slave you brought into our house tried to come in and fool around with me," she said, "but when I screamed, he ran outside, leaving his cloak with me." So basically, he had him put into prison, And, but the Lord was with him, and he continued to move in Joseph's life and bring him to a greater position of power and use him for even mightier purposes. But the moral of the story is we can have everything going right in our life. And often we have the enemy come against us at that time. You can be successful in your job, your health can be going well, your relationship, and then Satan looks for an opportunity to wreak havoc just like he did in Joseph's life. And so we can take the lesson from Joseph of, first of all, him knowing that the hand of the Lord was upon him, and that if he did do this thing, that would be a great and wicked sin against God, because we are accountable to God first. Obviously, it's a sin against Potiphar too, because that is his wife. But it's first and foremost our accountability and our relationship with God is number one. And so remembering that when temptations come along, that God is the first and foremost person that we need to recognize, and not wanting to disappoint, not wanting to defame his name, not to have any bad things said against the Lord because of our actions. Another lesson we can learn from Joseph is he really tried to resist the devil, and the devil will flee, okay? And he tried to put her out of the way, avoid the situation and so forth. Now, could he have maybe told Potiphar about it? Potiphar probably wouldn't have believed him and would have, believed the wife instead. That is a possibility. But it gives us an opportunity to think about what we could do. How can we get rid of that temptation permanently, or that attack on the devil? First of all, praying and seeking the Lord, seeing if there is anything that we can do to remove ourselves first and foremost from that situation. And most of the time we can say no and flee. But if it's in our job, sometimes it's not as easy. So really thinking about it and praying and asking the Lord for wisdom about it. And remember that when we are faithful to the Lord, that the Lord will bless it. There may be a problem where you do get fired, or something, happens not on your own account and you resisted the temptation, but the Lord knows this, and he will bless the fact that you remain firm and you remain honorable to him and to his name, and he will bless you. And he may test you in this and test your faith, but he will take you to higher ground and use you for a higher purpose. So I hope that we all gleaned some information, that's good and useful from this Old Testament story. And we were aware of temptation. We resist the devil will flee. And we use wisdom and discernment from the Bible and asking the Lord to get out of that situation. I hope everyone has a great weekend. God bless.